Namaste everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In the last video I explained what is yoga, and today I am going to take you with me through the history of yoga. Click the I button to watch my previous video if you haven't already. Naturally, no one enjoyed studying history in college or during our school years. We called history a dull or a nap period. My friends used to run away from history lectures. But being a history student, I do my best to make this film as easy as possible for everyone to watch. Additionally, I would be pleased to see if you could learn a little bit about yoga. Now, let's get going. One thing I understood when I was studying history in college, that if you don't know about the background of something, then it will become very hard for you to understand anything that you are learning. Now, what is the background of yoga then? The roots of yoga can be found more than 5,000 years ago in northern India. The word yoga was first mentioned in ancient sacred text called the Rig Veda. Among the Vedas, the Rig Veda is the oldest. It consists of 10 chapters or mandalas that contain more than 1,000 hymns and mantras that were used by priests of that days. Rishis who documented their practices and views in the Upanishads are associated with refining and developing yoga. Now, join me to explore the rich past of yoga. We will move step by step. There were 5 periods. First one was the pre-Vedic period, then came Vedic period, then pre-classical, then classical, post-classical era, and then at the end it's modern period. Pre-Vedic period. So there were seals and fossils related to individuals practicing yoga sadhana have been discovered from the Indus Valley civilization, which dates back to 2700 BC. Even though it was an unrecorded era, but still suggested that yoga practice was already happening at such early times. Now, let's move towards the second period known as the Vedic period. The concept of yoga was originally used in the 1500 BC Sanskrit scriptures of Rig Veda. The majority of this ancient work addressed the songs, mantras, and rituals that the Vedic priests employed in their daily lives. Later, in the Atharva Veda, say about 900 BC, okay, let me explain you this Vedic concept first. The Rig Veda, Sam Veda, Yajur Veda, and Atharva Veda are the 4 Vedas that make up the hierarchy of the Vedic knowledge. The 4 Upavedas or sub-Vedas that follow are Ayurveda, Atharva Veda, Gandharva Veda, and Dhanur Veda. 6 Upangas or components are located further down the line: Jyotisha, Kalpa, Vyakarna, Nirukta, Chandas, and Shiksha. 6 sub-components are further divided into these: Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Sankhya, Mimamsa, Vedanta, and Yoga. Do you even know that breath control was highlighted in the Atharva Veda, say 900 BC? This is just for your general knowledge. However, it is difficult to pinpoint the exact era as the Vedas were originally passed down through stories and by word of mouth. Vedic priests avoided self-indulgences and performed sacrifices called yagnas. They used poses that researchers believed have now evolved into modern yoga postures. Now, our next period is pre-classical period. Do you know that the scriptures known as the Upanishads originated in the pre-classical period? They explain the meanings found in Vedic literature by reading between the lines and explaining the functions of the body and mind, and they also discuss spiritual lessons. Out of 108 written documents, 20 were Upanishads in the yoga tradition. They concentrate on multiple still practiced yogic practices such as breathing exercises, which are known as pranayam, sensation withdrawal, which is known as pratyahar, breathing modulation, sound, and silent meditation. Not only this, Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga were also practiced during this time. Now, let's move towards classical era. From 500 BC to 800 AD, yoga saw a classical era. During this time, the significance of having a calm mind as a result of yoga was highlighted. During this time, yoga began to dominate Jainism and Buddhism. It is said that Lord Buddha was the first Buddhist to study yoga. Buddhist writings placed a strong emphasis on enlightenment, promoting practices like meditation and yoga. Jainism also absorbed yoga, according to Lord Mahavira. To achieve salvation and moksha, Buddha emphasized the significance of meditation. The significance of Dharma, Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga is explained in the 700th verse Bhagavad Gita, which is a collection of conversation between Lord Krishna and Prince Arjuna. Samatvam Yog Uchyate, or yoga is a balanced state, is what Lord Krishna states in this well-known passage. Oneness between man and nature is the goal of yoga. It returns us to our joyful state. In his Yoga Sutras, Maharshi Patanjali, known as the father of yoga, was the first yogi to genuinely comprehend and explain the concept of yoga as well as its ultimate intent. It was known as Raj Yoga. Ved Vyas wrote the first commentary on the Yoga Sutras during the ancient era. The profound connection between Sankhya philosophy, one of the 6 Indian philosophies, and the philosophy of yoga was discovered and discussed. Nath dances and martial arts employed the methods described in the Yoga Sutras to emphasize their individual dance and martial forms. In the ancient era, the emphasis in yoga was on the significance of awareness. At this time, yoga appeared to be very popular. Now, post-classical era. From 1700 AD onwards, this was the post-classical era. It listed the names of many teachers of yoga who contributed to the growth of beautiful traditional art form. Acharya Trayas, Adi Shankaracharya, Madhvacharya, Ram Anujacharya, Mirabai, and Purandar Das are a few of the yogis. Adi Shankaracharya dedicated his life to preserving the traditions of Raj and Jnana Yoga. He devoted a significant portion of his life to advancements and modifications within the yoga tradition. It was also emphasized that meditation helped purge the mind of unfavorable ideas. Tulsi Das and Purandar Das, among others, studied the science of yoga. Hatha Yoga, which combines physical postures and breathing exercises, gained popularity and is still highly recognized. Modern period, contemporary era. One of the main yogis to propagate yoga in the contemporary era, that is from 1700 AD to 1900 AD, was Swami Vivekananda. The time was devoted to yoga as a means of developing physical strength. The development and popularity of Hatha, Vedanta, and Bhakti yogas were supported by the teachings of Raman Maharshi, Ramakrishna Paramhans, P.K.S. Iyengar, K. Pattapati Jois, Paramhans Yoganand, and Vivekananda. Over the ages, yoga has seen numerous modifications. Many hypotheses about how its culture spread have been put up by various people during this time. The sense of unity with the spirit, mind, body, and environment, however, remains the essence and soul of yoga as it enters the 21st century. So, that's the background of yoga. I hope you have seen that yoga is more than just the poses and healing for health problems. Please share this with your friends and family if you enjoyed it, and tell them about the background of yoga. To receive frequent updates about yoga and your general well-being, please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to click the bell button. I am grateful. Thank you for watching.